What's up, Tank Life? So this is day one of treating sick Oscars at home. What's going on is he has what they call hole in the head syndrome. We rescued him from a lady and the tanks were so dirty that we couldn't even see him in there. I think I have some pictures hopefully that I will post, but the water environment was just so poor. And if you know anything about hole in the head syndrome, it comes from a parasite that develops in water that's never cleaned. So all of these fish that you see in there were also in the same tank with them. So we have them in the tank. And we're going to basically treat all of them at the same time. Even though the goldfish, they're eating. They seem perfectly healthy. We just went and bought some feeder fish because we noticed that the white Oscar, which we have not named, was trying to eat these goldfish. And that is the first thing we're trying to do, is get them to eat. So what we're about to do first is release these feeder goldfish into the tank and see what happens. Okay, still on day one. So the first step we're gonna do is, they said that one of the main causes of hole in the head disease are these parasites that the fish is carrying, is because of dirty water. So we're going to be making sure we do at least a 10% water change every day, with a 50% water change on one day of the week, which will probably be Friday or Saturday. So what we're about to do right now first is do our water change, about a 10% water change, and then we're going to treat our water. And what we're going to be treating our water with is, I can't even say that name, but it's a parasite treatment. Y'all can see it right there. And what I've already started treating them with is the Super Icky Cure. And I've just been using this to try to heal some of the sores, because they said when it gets to the point where they're not eating and that the sores look like they're bleeding, that basically they're too far gone. So as I said, we're rescued these and we're just trying to see if we can pull them back. Okay, y'all, right, so I got my 10% of my water taken out of my tank. And what I like to do is, when I'm using chemicals in my tank, I actually like to put them in now after I've lowered my water, before I put the new water back in. So this right here is imaginative, whatever you call it. But it is parasite fish remedy. And I have it weighed out. It's 10 drops per gallon, and this is a 50-gallon tank. And this next in the blue thing is my Pima fungal infection treatment from API. And as I say, none of these are sponsored, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in there too. And I'm not going to lie and say I know it's safe to mix those, but I am going to do some research after this video to find out right now. And I'm just trying to get something done, trying to pull him out of the way he's acting. And he's already better than what he was when we first got him, because he was just staying in one spot and he wouldn't move around. But yeah, I got that done. I'm about to put my water back in, and I will actually see y'all on day 2, where I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take out 10% of my water, and by tomorrow I'll know more about my treatment plan, and we'll discuss that then. As you see, all those little goldfish is what I'm hoping they're going to eat. Those goldfish are only in there because they were in the tank that we got them from. But as soon as we done treatment, they will be separated. All right, Tank Life. I'll see y'all in the next day. All right, Tank Life is day 2 on treating sick fish at home. And as you remember from yesterday, we got the same problems. He's been moving around more lately. The white one's been real active, but I'm not sure if either one of them have eaten at all. So I said before, we got some feeder fish, and a couple of them are gone, but I'm not sure if they ate them or those goldfish ate them. Of course, like I said before, I have those goldfish in there because they were in the tank that they came out of. So I'm treating all of them at the same time. But those goldfish were chasing the little ones around, so I'm not sure whether they ate some of them or if they ate some of them. But we're about to do the same thing as yesterday. I did do some research, and it's safe to mix the 2 medicines that I'm using. Neither one of those are sponsored, and we're just trying. So I said I don't think these fish are going to make it, but I had to accept to rescue these fish in order to get the fish that I wanted, and I'll show them more later on. We're about to do the same thing as yesterday. Drop this water, do the water change, treat the water. 2. Got my water lowered. This I've been doing about not even a 10% or 5% water change every day. And added my meds. So we're about to go ahead and do that right now while y'all are watching. And while I was vacuuming their tank, I noticed that he was trying to eat some of the goldfish, so that's a good sign, but they're still very lethargic and weak. So as we said before, we don't think they're going to make it, but I promised the lady I would try to save them for her and her kid. She just didn't want her son to see them die. And we are doing our best. Alright, so I'm going to fill this water up and then watch them for a little bit and see how they act, to see if there's any changes. Okay, y'all, for day 3, I wanted to start off with an update of the axolotls. I really just wanted to show the setup that I stayed up all night working on, just to tear down today because they are on the stand for the 75-gallon, which I will need if we decide to keep the Oscar, both of the Oscars, if they survive. So I'm trying to move pretty fast, but those are the 2 new axolotls, which will be in the next video, coming real soon. But I went out and bought a rack because we're stacking up on axolotls so fast. So I'm about to be up all night again tearing this down, so I thought I might as well show it off before I tear it down. All right, let's get over day 3. Treating axolotls with hole in the head disease. And I do believe I see some outcome today. They look a little better. They've been swimming around a lot more. As you've seen on the last video, the big one did eat. Haven't seen the albino one eat yet. But to me, the sores don't look as red and look like they were bleeding before. The water's still murky even though I did a water change, but I am not running a filter inside of my skimmer. So it is going to be a little murky, and that is because the medicine stated to take that filter out the duration of the treatment. So I'm just making sure I do water changes every day, and I do still have the 2 sponge filters in the back, which I am going to clean today. Or I probably won't clean those today. I think I'm going to wait and do this big water change today because we're going to do more of a water change. As you can see, the sores are still there. They're still bad, but they just don't look as infected. And I did get some more medicine. I actually got the correct medicine. I couldn't find out. I got the antibiotic medicine. But what we've been using are natural medicines, and that's why we can mix them. So what we're going to do is basically keep going with the treatment that we have for this week, and then I'm going to do a real big water change. Here's the medicines we're going to be using today. I have added this stress coat in there on day 3, and that's because I've seen that it helps to build up their coat on the outside of them and promotes healing. We still have this parasite, which is a natural remedy for the parasites that we're using. And this Pima Fix, that is just for any but it's a natural thing. Basically the same thing from a tea extract for any fungal infection. And then, as I said, next week after we get done with this, I'm going to use this, which I am sure will cure anything. But since we already started with the natural stuff, we're going to stick with that first. And as I said, we're working on a bigger tank that we'll go to in about 2 weeks, and I'll keep treating, because I want to make sure these guys are fully healthy. Alright, so let's get started. We got the Water Lord, and I was going to do a bigger degree water change. But I'm going to wait, because as I said, I'm going to end this natural treatment that I'm using on Friday and do a big water change out and go to the antibiotics. And I know for sure that'll kick it out, but I want to finish out this regimen of medicines that I've been using. As I said, there's already been such a big turnaround that I'm not worried no more. Now I'm more worried of having a bigger tank to support these guys when they pull through. So as I said, I got all 3 of my medicines: the stress reliever coat, the parasite relief, and the fungal infection. I'm treating all 3 at the same time, and I googled and it said that all of the medicines were safe to be mixed. The only one that I have a question about is the antibiotics, and that's why I'm going to wait on that. I might even go ahead and separate them depending on how fast it takes me to set up the 75-gallon, which I'm working on. Might separate them from the goldfish and treat them by themselves with that catfish. Alright, let me go ahead and add these medicines in. And as y'all see, the water's cloudy. I also put my filter back in because I seen that the filter didn't hurt it. As long as there's not charcoal in it, and it's not. So the water should clear up a lot. It's a lot cloudy and a lot of stuff is moving because, as I said, I just vacuumed and I took out the little castle. So it stirred up everything. But I'm going to come back after this, after I put the water in, and do a pH test, and the water should be cleaner then. Alright, here we go. That's the bacteria infection. And that's the stress coat. I might come back and put a little bit more stress coat, but yep. So I wanted to end this with a quick video of the axolotl table and all the axolotls in their little bins and the little decorations that we set up for right now. So again, this is another temporary holding spot till I get them back in their tanks and while they're getting treated. But as you see, they're all pretty comfortable where they're at. Oh yeah, and the 2 new babies. And Amarillo is in there somewhere. Alright y'all, that's it for today though.